Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom. What's on today's agenda? So, we have Mr. Huffstuffs over here. I hate PUBG. As I had said in a previous broadcast, we were gonna we are gonna go over all of the Q&A PUBG videos that Mr. Huffstuff put out, or as I like to call the Axe the Pig or Axe the King without the hat, or or you could say Axe the Pig without the party hat. That works too. We're going to go over all those in the future, so look out for that. That should be interesting. Those are going to be some long videos. But what is the video that we're here with today? Snort Burnell. One of my favorites. DsPgaming. The pig cult members are not friends, and detractors are my biggest fans, and I'm authentic. So, let's try to break this down about the authentic aspect of it. Phil's not authentic, because if he was authentic, if he was real, if he was true to himself, Arsenal reference for any of you guys who listen to battle rap, he wouldn't be a hypocrite. He wouldn't change. He wouldn't go back on his own word, which he does frequently. It's just in his nature. It's just what he is. When you shit on something and then turn around and then start to participate in it and then defend it with some whatever lame ass excuse you have, it is what it is. If he was a mad butt then, if he was being real about it, he would have been like, hey guys, I was wrong. I probably shouldn't have said what I said and whatnot. But I'm here now. It is what it is. And take whatever criticism comes to him for that. He won't do that. So we'll see exactly how real he is in just a second. Detractors being his biggest fans. I will say that the detractors certainly put more work in than he does. I mean, it is what it is. They do keep him relevant. I mean, more so than people in his own fan base, and they give him money. They give you money, and yet the detractors are what keeps you relevant, keeps your name out there. So we'll find out how that part works out. And the pig cult members are not my friends. Okay, so this started because I don't know. It's been like 2 weeks, maybe. I know I'm really behind, but it's been like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, where he would open up his pre-streams with "Hello, my friends." Now, when I first heard that, I thought it was just a one-off, and that was it. I thought he was getting ready to push a narrative on he needs more money, so it was just a throwaway line. But he's been doing it a lot lately, and he's been interchanging between "ladies and gentlemen," "my friends," and just "hello, hello, everybody," which is what he normally does. As for them not being his friends, Phil doesn't have any friends, to be honest. Phil doesn't know how to treat people. We've seen what he's done to his friends before, so it's not a surprise that the pig cult isn't his friends. Also, he's paranoid. He's paranoid as shit, and he doesn't know how long some of these guys have been deep cover. So yeah, he's gonna be a little bit on edge about who he trusts and who he doesn't, and that's by his own design. That's of his own making. It's very possible that a Brightside Viking might have been his last true friend, to be honest. But that's neither here nor there. It's just one of the sequences. Now keep in mind, there's some other people that he considers friends, like Arturo Sanchez, allegedly, considered one of the best Dosms out there. There's some other people. Excuse me. There's some other people who participate in multiplayer games with him that he used to anyway, who he might consider his friends. But no, the pig cult is not his friends. You guys are merely there to provide sustenance to him, financially as well as mentally, and that's it. You guys are out there to report videos. You guys are there to try to take down channels. You guys are there to do whatever other dirty work he needs you guys to do. And you guys are essentially there to provide him money and to continue to stroke his ego. Because Lord knows he isn't stroking everything else. And that's it. That is essentially the cut and dry of it all. And if you guys haven't figured that out at this point, meaning you guys as in his fan base. Well, I don't know what to tell you. So, best you hear it from him than hear it from me. Well, I mean, I've been saying that for a while, but then again, so is a lot of people. Well, in any case, go ahead and put that handsome bastard up there. And, yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and hear what we're going to hear from this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never, wow, always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG, Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan, my friends. It's time to watch me work. Oh my god. I do wonder why he started saying that, though. That should be interesting.
Warning. What you may see right now is going to be absolutely disgusting. I belch loudly for you. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Gonna have a little bit of real talk with you guys regarding myself and the business and everything going on right now, alright? Very quickly.
But right now is the summertime. Sadly, in the summertime, it means YouTube is terrible.
Wah, I'm not making ad revenue. Wah. So I'm making half as much money every day as I just was a month ago on YouTube. I need that money. I really do. I need that money to pay my bills. Everything's got to be about making the almighty dollar. Let's face it.
Damn right. But here's the thing. Phil's been doing this for a long-ass time. So he knows when the dry spells of YouTube, comes and goes. And, to be honest with you, he should plan accordingly. This is a year-by-year type situation. He should be planning accordingly for this. Or maybe every year he should try something different. He should be trying something to try to bring in more ad support, if that's at all possible, for the slower times of the year. He can't save money because he doesn't believe in that. That's why he doesn't believe in investing, a nest egg, retirement, all that shit is foreign to him. But then again, that's why he has the pig cult. They can do that for him. This happens every year. Why will this man not take the steps needed to be prepared for it? We'll see.
Guys, let's face it, the top guys on YouTube literally cater to children. They dress up like cartoon characters and Muppets. They dance around. They scream at the top of their lungs. They act like idiots.
Shove him up the ass, gotta use the power to stop the motherfucking jackass. Stop the ignorant tale of the shit. You're gonna fuck so Larry's got a fucking quick. Alright.
They have a very, very large child viewer base, and children don't have fucking money to buy products. Yet these guys get the most and most profitable advertisements on YouTube, and so these advertisements are highly ineffective. Okay? So that being said...
Because they have the viewership, first off and foremost, and they have the engagement. Well, they have the engagement because they have the viewership. You know what I mean? This is what happens, Phil, when you sat there and you got rid of your comment section. You don't give people... First off, you don't have a real reason for people to actually stay there. You know what I mean? Because there's no comment section. There's no rating system. So you're kind of coming in, watching, as you said yourself, out of a 10-minute video, 7 minutes, and then they're out. And then you don't give them a reason to come back. Hence is the point of the comment section. You never figure that out for whatever reason. So you're just kind of suffering the consequences. Yet again, this is your own fault. Yet again, you went ahead recently after the after Spamgate and decided to go ahead and open up related channels for yourself again, which is why if you go to some detractor channels, you see him under you see DsPgaming under related channels. You did that smart move. Go ahead and just open your comment section back up. Flip that little button, that little switch. Let your comments come back. Let your likes and dislikes come back. Stop being a little bitch. Okay? Put your little bullshit pride to the side, and things will start to look up. Will things change overnight? No, not at all. But as long as you keep holding on to the pettiness, which is your pride, which is rather pathetic, you're going to suffer the consequences. Yet again, your own doing, nobody else. Don't you get tired of just blaming other people for shit? Wouldn't it be more reasonable to actually come up with a solution? Or ask other people? Like I said, no one's going to shit on you for asking a question. It's a question. If you don't know, you should ask. Whatever.
YouTube has had a horrendous time the past 1.5 to 2 years of trying to retain advertisers.
But you know, it makes me very nervous. It absolutely makes me very nervous when I'm working my butt off. What? I'm actually the ultimate schizophrenic, and everyone's loving what I'm doing. I'm getting tons of positive feedback, and then I go look and it says, oh, you made half as much money today as you did the past 2 months. Like, wow, well, fuck you. Seriously, fuck you, YouTube. Why am I toxic? The salty tears. Salty tears. And right now, I need money to pay bills. Tipping is really the best way that you can help me out right now, because you guys don't know how to...
Argent put out a video recently. Shouts out to Argent. He put out a video recently talking about, he was going over one of the more recent Dave subjects. And he said that, for the most part, Dave is correct on a lot of the changes that pertains to YouTube. And in truth, he's, Argent's right. Dave isn't wrong on all the changes. At the same time, Dave needs to change also. As the business changes, he needs to kind of change with it. And he's not willing to do it. It's not that he can't do it. He's not willing to do it. And this is what hurts him. He holds himself back. He sets himself back. But yet he expects other people to come to the rescue and save him. This isn't Captain Save-A-Ho. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to walk. You know what I'm saying? If you want to succeed, you might have to bleed a little bit to pull this off. It's just kind of how it works. But for Dave, he's at that point where he's like, but why? I could just have these kids do it. I'll just have them pull me from the brink. Because I provided them 10 years or a decade, same shit, of quality content, which is what I hold my legacy on. So why not, pay for them to pay him in this tough patch? And more importantly, do it moving forward. Because, trust me, you think Phil's going to relinquish any of his control that he has on any of these people? No. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Going back to December, going back to that whole situation that he couldn't talk about and whatnot, when he announced that shit and he saw all the support he got, he was never going to give that up. He was never going to give that up. He knew from there on out this was the scam. And like I said, he screwed himself because he became too greedy. And it ended up coming back to bite him, as it should. But he's never going to relinquish that type of control. Him and the pig cult are going to walk hand in hand upstate. This is to the death. It is what it is. He can keep blaming YouTube all he wants. He can keep filling their head with, oh, it's YouTube's fault. They did this and they did that. But one of them, or if not a few of them, are going to eventually scurry away and come to the realization that, hey, couldn't Phil have made some changes? They say it now. There's just not enough of them to say it. There's not enough of them that are brave enough to say it. But one day that might change. One day. DSP News.
Do your fucking jobs. It's their job to go out and recruit advertisements and seek this out to make their website more lucrative for their content creators, and they just don't do it. They don't do a good job of it. They never have. They kind of were like just sat on their asses and wrote algorithms and thought that, oh, let the money roll in. No, that's not how life works. You created the monster, you unleashed the monster, and now your complaint is, well, the monster's too powerful to control. Well, fuck you. That's your fault. That's your fault. You created that business model. You created a flawed business model, and now you're saying there's nothing you could do about it? No, it's your business. You're the one who created that economic situation.
And sadly, those good times just aren't there anymore. So, please guys, if you love what I do, you want to see me continue to be able to do it, and you want to see me get through this very slow summer, you like what I'm doing, please, if you can, show up to the streams and please be supportive on the streams.
Give me your money. Money, money, money that I gotta spend, spend, spend. Money, 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 money. Plugs, plugs, plugs. Help me, money, money, money. Money, 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 money. Quick buck, quick buck, quick buck. Minimum effort, minimum money and time involved, maximum profit. Milk that fucking gravy train for as much money as you possibly can. Milk and honey, I like to say. I want more money on top of the money that I already made. We need more money. We need more money. That's what this stream is about. Like, my God, please, you gotta tip me because I have no money. The money is mine, and I want the money. It's gross. It's for this. It's not because they love what they're doing. It's not because for the love of the game or because they're true gamers. It's for this. And this is what it's become. It's not about putting out a quality review. It's not about putting out a quality playthrough or quality stream. It's about making this. Anything for this, right? It's greed. It's greed. Greed is massively strong. I have no fucking self-control. Holy fucking shit. Relax. Some people just can't control themselves. When you see the true nature of a person, is how they react when they're down or when they fail, not when they succeed. When someone fails and they're facing adversity, then the real person comes out. And that's how you determine the real mettle of someone, right? And who they really are.
Just wanted to bring this up, because a lot of you guys don't know what happens behind...
Excuse me, that's amazing too, by the way. Sorry, it's pumpkin cappuccino is getting to me. That I've always found that to be a rather interesting aspect about Dave, where he has these moments of self-reflection and self-awareness, and yet he can't put two and two together. Like, he has these words of wisdom at times, and he completely excludes himself from it. Like, he stands on this high moral grounds, and to his fan base, the peasants, they are the ones who needs to kind of listen and adapt and live by the word. And no one, even within his own fan base, calls him out on that. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
the scenes, right? And I just want to bring it up so you know what's happening, and know that I'm heavily relying on you guys to be supportive here on the streams to really get by in the next few months. You know, once we hit September-ish, and all the advertisement revenue picks up, and there's a ton of new releases, and people are coming out to watch them anyway, that's great, but I really need your support right now during these slower summer months on YouTube, okay?
Listen, I am no
listen, you guys are going to pay out the ass when September comes. September, October comes around, the holidays, hey, he's got to buy presents. Hey, he has to get gifts. Hey, you know, it's gonna be colder, so the heat's got to be run, right? Doesn't Phil have a fireplace? Even if he does, he wouldn't know how to operate it. But in any case, you guys are gonna be, you as Phil's fan base is gonna be paying out the ass when the holidays come around. Mark my words. Mark my words. Plus, he's still sitting on one more ace. There's something that's going on, another situation that he can't talk about, right? And he's gonna sit on that and he's gonna wait. He doesn't know much information about it yet, so he's gonna sit on it for a little while until he's ready. I guarantee you it's gonna be right around the holidays. Why? Because people are more generous around the holidays. What he needs, what he wants, is a duplication of Christmas of 2017. He wants that. He wants all that sweet cash. You know what I'm saying? He made what, 10,000 plus last year. Boy, he's going for the gusto. He want 20. He want 20, he want 25 this year and whatnot. Because like he said, he can't talk about it. He just doesn't know enough information on it. Whether it's another tax situation, whether he's going to lose the house, whether it's something with his health, whether he's going to get dropped from curse. We don't know what it is yet. But he's sitting on it because he's waiting for the opportunity, for the right opportunity to come out with it. Mark my words. So he's talking about you pulling him through the summer months. No, it's just like I said previously. You're going to pull him for the rest of your lives. You guys have become his mules and whatnot. And you guys are going to pull, and it's going to be hand in hand upstate till the death. You guys aren't going nowhere and whatnot. And you will pay him every last dime. And then he'll try to find a way to replace you. DSP News.
Authority on anything, folks. I love begging. Hey, money is money. One thing I think about, money is money. Yeah.
The Honest Troll. Cheers said, are we ever going to get an update on the issue you alluded to but couldn't talk about? Right now, I don't have any updates. if and when I have updates and I can talk about something, I'll always tell you
That's
guys.
funny. That's exactly what I was talking about. That, ladies and gentlemen, will be our next chapter of that'll be the next saga. Exactly.
If I have nothing that I can talk about, I won't tell you guys. It's that simple. But yeah, you know, sadly, I'm in a situation where once again things were actually going quite good, and then I got bad news about something that I cannot control, has nothing to do with anything that I've done wrong or anything like that. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Again, out of fucking nowhere, some bad news. And basically, I'm in the midst of dealing with all of that, alright? If and when I have more information for you guys, I will let you know. But I'm not going to jump the gun and tell you guys stuff until I absolutely know what's going on with something. That would be a waste of my time, so.
I did nothing wrong. I did everything correct.
Continuing on, the lollipop cheer says, but noticing you called
And like I
fans...
said, that was the same shit, almost word from word, that he said last year, except for there was way more emotion in it. But when he first, you know, came out and said, you know, I have this thing, I can't really talk to you guys about it. That first time he said it, you know, he said he had this mental strain and all this, that, and the third. As time went on and people would gradually ask him, hey, did you find out anything? He pretty much said exactly what he said there, word for word. Hey, I don't know enough yet. I don't want to waste anybody's time as well as my own talking about it or dwelling about it. I don't want to think about it. I have to wait until I get more information. Mark my words. Mark my words.
friends. It's great. It shows connection between us and you. Some people can't be your friends because of drama or whatever. We will gladly be your friends. You know, it's funny. Obviously, with any of you guys, I can't have a personal close relationship. You guys know that. You know? Talking with hundreds, if not thousands of people.
Exactly. It's like a stripper in the club. She ain't your friend. You pay her to hear your problems. You know what I'm saying? She makes you forget about your problems for a little while, and then you take your ass home. If I say, yeah, you don't give a damn about none of y'all. You guys come to his streams. You make him feel better. You may make it rain on him, and then you guys go back to your lives. You go back home. Ain't no friendship here. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no strippers out here telling you what their real names are. There ain't none of these oh my God. He's a thought. He is a male thought. There ain't no names exchanged here. There ain't no attachments. You pass your wallet over, he take his bread. You know what I'm saying? He makes you feel special for a little bit, and then you take your ass home, and he'll see you tomorrow. As soon as you get off work or off school. Period. That's how this works. Like I said, y'all children, you don't know nothing about that stripper game yet. But that's all right though. I mean, you guys are being schooled to it. You guys are being hustled right now. You know what I mean? Being hustled. Like I said, Phil's got the whole thing lined up for you guys. That's why you guys ain't friends, because he's not friends with people who give him money. Because how can he respect you? Seriously, real talk now. Real talk. No jokes aside. How can he really respect you? He's conning you guys. And meaning people in his fan base. He's playing you. You guys are useless to him. Outside of what you can provide him. And because you guys are providing something to him, how can he respect you? And if he can't respect you, then how can he like you? If he doesn't like you, then how can you guys be his friend? And that's how Phil feels about everybody. He doesn't like anybody. He doesn't respect anybody because you guys go out your way to help him. You're there merely to be taken advantage of. Nothing else. You have no self-worth outside of that. And either he gets rid of you or you drop. And then he'll just find someone else to replace you. You think there's just one Swaggins out there? There's a couple. I'm sure. And they're just waiting for their opportunity. They're just waiting for their come up. And Swaggins is actually a pretty good example. He's only there to make his mark. And once he has all of Brightside Vikings records, and he's the man, he may eventually fade out too. And then guess what? Someone else will come along and try to chase those records too. Because that's the precedence that's kind of being displayed, that's being shown, that's being established. That's all it is. It's a game within a game in a lot of ways. Just the thing is they're putting up money, which is one of the biggest aspects of it. But Phil doesn't like people doesn't like people, can't respect people he doesn't like. Look at this. Low Tier God be sitting there shitting on him lately, and he still follow Low Tier God. And he still tries to chime in on those conversations because he can't manipulate Low Tier God. So he has no choice but to respect him. He has no choice but to look at him as an equal, so to speak. But not the rest of you guys. He's going to shit on you guys day in, day out, and he knows you're going to come back. How do you respect somebody like that? Food for thought. DSP News.
The internet on a daily basis. There's no way that I could have a personal, close relationship with you guys. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that I'm not eternally grateful for the fact that you guys have supported me the way that you have in the last 10 years. The fact that you guys continuously come out, and when things go wrong, you basically rally against the bullshit with me. It would be very hard for me to not call you guys my friends when you guys have helped me out the way you have. Alright? Now, obviously, it's not a close personal relationship. You know, some people, I want to be so close with Phil, I want to hang out with him. It's not going to happen.
That guy needs to be kicked in the freaking balls. He's an asshole.
You know, but for guys, those of us who, digitally, we're here every day on stream, and we're hanging out, we're having fun, we're talking, and everything, and having interactions, it's really awesome. I really do feel like I have a closer connection now than I ever did before.
Are you all my close personal friends that we can all hang out with in real life? No, of course not. But do I consider you guys really, positive supporters and a big influence in my life? Absolutely. And I want to say thanks for the money, dummies, because that's exactly what you fucking are. A bunch of fucking empty-headed idiots who paid me money to get absolutely nothing out of it. Thanks. Wow.
The lollipop treated gangs, from your point
Now
of
let's
view...
get into the next part of that. If that's how he views his fan base, how does he view Cat? Just saying. I'm sure at this particular point, some of you guys have seen the newest IRL. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. So taken from what you guys have observed off of that, what do you think he thinks of her? And despite whatever you think, as it pertains to that IRL stream, how much do you really think he cares about her? What do you think her value is? You guys, these people here give him money day in, day out. They give him moral support day in, day out, and get very little back for it. I can't necessarily say nothing, but very, very little back. They're definitely in the red. They're not recouping anything. So what do you think the woman who lives in that house, who cooks him his meals, who washes his clothes, who keeps the house up, and she's in the gym now, so that means she's damn sure going to be doing lawn work soon. What do you think she's getting out of this situation? What do you think his value, how much do you think he values her? Yet again, some food for thought. DSP News.
Do you think it's fine to get help from chat, and again that you get stuck on not knowing what to do? Because if you do say it's okay and it makes sense, people will be like, chat is ruining another playthrough. Well, you're right. Listen, Lollipop, from what I've determined over the years, there's no way you can please all of the people all of the time. Because here's the deal. Let's say I'm playing a game that's very cryptic and or very challenging because it's an old school game that maybe doesn't have a lot of the modern gameplay mechanics that we have today to make games more manageable for the common gamer. And I may get stuck on a part. Well, here's the deal. If I sit here and I rage at a part of a game and cannot get by it, and I spend 2-3 hours on it, there's a certain kind of person who would laugh hysterically and say, this is hilarious, this is exactly what I wanted, Phil raging and not progressing, har har har. That's the kind of person, I hate to say it, sadly they laugh at you rather than with you.
Oh my god.
Alright? But they exist. Then you've got the person who's like, man, I really just wanted to see Phil play this game. He's stuck on this fucking part of the game for a long ass time. Obviously he's not going to figure this shit out. I really like to help him out so we can progress and get stuff moving onto better and new content rather than just sitting here and seeing him suffer. Okay? This is a person who probably is a way more supportive in a positive manner of myself and me, my content, etc. They want to have, fun and progression rather than just rage and being stuck. Okay? And it's a mix, right? You're always going to get that mix. You're going to get that natural mix. Alright? What I would say is...
Do I want people constantly holding my fucking hand? Of course I don't. I want to legitimately experience these games and have fun with them. I'm good at lying. I'm hypocritical.
Every waking moment, I don't want someone jumping up and saying, this is how you do this, this is how you do this. Oh, that's easy, do this. Here's a trick for what's coming up next. No, I'd rather tackle everything legitimately. Alright, and then, if I can't figure it out, then someone helps me. Perfect example here. Sims Hit and Run. There were some parts of that game that were very cryptic and very, very annoying. There's no way I'm going to figure this out unless I try it 20, 30 times in rage. Oh, then someone in stream chat says, well, Phil, actually, the game doesn't tell you this, but if you take the first turn instead of the second that it tells you to do with the GPS, it's a shortcut that allows you to win the race easily, so you're not stuck on this race for like 40 minutes. Oh, good, thank you, and then I beat the race. And then some people in stream chat are happy. They're like, thank God, because we didn't want to see Phil get stuck on that forever. We want to see the rest of the game. And there's other people who are just negative dicks. They're like, we can't see him crying games for like a day. Me.
Oh, you're getting assault.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Simpsons Hit and Run, right? I think it came out for, what, PS2? He's playing it, I think he's playing it on the GameCube. But it came out for, like, the PS2, I think. Maybe. I think it might have been PS2. Could have been PS3. And it's a kid's game. That's what it is, at its basis. And he couldn't even do that right. You know what I mean? He couldn't even figure that out. There was nothing cryptic about Simpsons. It was point and shoot, essentially. I mean, no, it's not like Nintendo's Mario where everything's in a straight line, but it's not super hard. It's really not. It's kind of just a fun game. But he tries to approach everything from this pathetic attempt, like a pathetic view of a business, and he screwed himself over. And then he had to get handheld through the rest of the game. Pretty much the whole game. The game is for kids. For kids. And he still fucked it up. He still couldn't do right by it. Maybe, just maybe, it's not the game. Maybe it's just him. Maybe he's the problem. Maybe for someone who sits there and tries to present himself in such a way to where he's intellectually and so articulate and whatnot, and he can't even figure out a kid's game. Maybe there's a deep-seated problem there that needs to be addressed. Maybe. Just saying. There are plenty of people who are shit at games. Sure. But that game was easy. Dumb easy. That's what makes it fun. And he consistently kept failing at it. Couldn't make jumps, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Simple shit. Just saying.
Salt. It's even now, again, my mouth overpowered with salt flavor.
And you know what? Like I said, you're always going to have that element and you're always going to have that mix. It's unavoidable. After 10 years doing this, I know that. But I don't want it to be either of the polar opposites. Number one, I wouldn't want it to be where someone completely holds my hand in a game and I never fail because I'm constantly just being told how to play it. On the flip side, I don't want my streams to become, wow, everyone's a dick and no one likes me and everyone's just being nasty to me so that I can just rage as much as I do. And you know what I mean? Like, either way, to me, I don't think would be enjoyable. It's about finding that happy middle-of-the-road medium where you get everyone gets a little bit of what they want. The people who want the rage get a little bit of that, and then the people who want to see progression get that eventually. That's what I think the key to being successful is, okay? So, that's my take on it. For 10 years of being a content creator, that's kind of how I feel about it. Okay?
Amazing.
Alright, Lollipop Cheers, he says, I've been seeing in recent playthroughs sometimes you dance or say funny stuff or make faces. It's funny that you do some of the things that you claim fake YouTubers do. It shows that a person who does like games can be interesting to see. Listen, here's the thing, Lollipop. Alright? And here's the difference between what I say, and do, and versus what I'm criticizing.
This is the United States of Phil. I am the supreme being. I make the rules, and what I say goes.
Yeah, basically he's a hypocrite. That's basically what it is. Unless he can spin the narrative into his own favor. So he's a goddamn hypocrite. Because you can't sit there and jump down somebody's throat for doing shit and then you turn around and do it yourself. He's done just about everything except color his hair. And like I said, I don't think he's going to do that. I think he'll just have Kat do it for him.
This is not a place for you to stand on your soapbox and complain about censorship and freedom of speech, because the bottom line is you don't have freedom of speech. This is my land.
Because again, when you oversimplify something, you basically definitely misinterpret it, alright? If you're genuinely playing a game, and something crazy and zany happens in the game, and you react to it in a crazy or zany way because it's so over the top, that's a legit reaction, that's fun. That's always what I've been about. Having legit and fun reactions to stuff going on in games. If you've actually watched my playthroughs over the years, I do sing every once in a while. When I'm in a good mood or there's something going on in the game, that warrants it, I'll sing during it. I'll make a silly face if something weird is going on in a game. But that's all genuine reactions to what's going on in the game. In general, if you watch my content, you'll notice I'm not doing it every 3 seconds. You know what I mean? I'm a very normal guy who'll have very normal reactions, sometimes over the top to things that are ridiculous in a game, or if I'm really angry at a part of a game that I've died on a million times, yes, I'll lose it and I'll rage and I'll swear and I'll flail my arms just like anyone else would. But I'm not doing it every possible fucking second, and I'm certainly not making a montage of my content to only highlight those over-the-top moments. That's the difference between me and the people I criticize.
Then how do you know that other content creators do that every second of every day if all you're doing is watching montages? It sounds to me like you're not watching the actual playthrough. You're just assuming from the montages that they're making silly faces or they're overreacting every minute of the video. It makes you kind of sound like an idiot, to be honest with you. You sound like an idiot. You sound like you're talking out of your ass again, and you really have no idea of what's going on.
YouTube.
Very, very, very hypocritical. That's just fucked in the head, dude. That's not normal mental behavior. I'm playing a woodwind instrument. I'm Japanese.
When I was a child, I was very different than the other children. I went to a comic book store one day with my parents, and the Wolverine figure was there. And I turned to my mother and father, and I said, guys, listen, I want that action figure for my birthday. So, please, what I would ask you, I've never asked you to do this before. We know how rare that figure is. We know we've been to stores endlessly, and we've never seen it in the flesh. It's finally here in front of our faces. Please buy the figure now. Hide it from me for for months until my birthday, and give it to me on my birthday. And so, like, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks in a row, they still didn't buy it, right? Week 4, we go back. It's gone.
Now, keep in mind, I remember what the lore is. He was about 15 at the time when this happened. So this is how deep seated this particular event is in his head. Okay, he was 15 at the time when the whole Wolverine figure happened.
So my birthday came and passed, and guess what? My parents go, "We're very sorry, Philip, but we couldn't find the action figure." I said, "I told you to buy the figure. Why don't you listen to me?" Like, it was such a no-brainer. All they had to do was buy it then. They could have hidden it forever. I would have never bugged them for it till my birthday. I knew I was going to get it on my birthday. Because they didn't buy it, I didn't get it. I did eventually get it, but it was the second run. And, of course, now it's a year later. Do you really think that something I wanted a year ago is as valuable as, you know? But then I was already starting to move into other stuff. And, yes, I see someone asking in the chat. Yes, my parents did have the money to buy it. They were just fucking stupid. You know, back in high school.
There you go. We see what mommy and daddy, we see mom and dad's value right there. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen.
I was on a cocktail of medications. I mean, real talk, when I was in high school at one point, I was to the point where I was losing it. I wanted to either go do something drastic or, you know, go nuts. There was a girl who I was like obsessed with for a while.
When I say top gaming YouTubers who act like cartoon characters, I literally mean it. These guys purposely dress a certain way, dye their hair a certain way, act and talk a certain way with certain mannerisms, certain over-the-top reactions, screaming at the top of their lungs, jumping, flailing, doing weird things, constantly on camera.
Oh my god! Oh my god! What was that? What was that? That was the messiest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. What the fuck? Oh my god!
What the fuck? Whoa! Whoa! To become a cartoon character that children will watch. Why do you think PewDiePie is popular? It's not because he was some intellectual fucking guy who added anything to games. Because back in the day, he acted like a cartoon character. He kind of looks like a cartoon character. And kids watched his cartoonish content. And he became virally popular. Now, am I saying innately that content is bad? No. There's a place for it. There's obviously an entertainment factor. Alright? But personally, as a 36-year-old adult, I don't like that content. And so it's my personal opinion to say I don't like that, and it's up to you to determine if you like it or not. But I don't support that content. I don't like it. I don't think it's genuine. I think it's purposely fabricated in order to create a certain younger viewing audience.
Then how are you going to get mad when people don't like your content and they call it lazy and they call it fucking useless and it's just regurgitated garbage, playthrough after playthrough after playthrough? To be honest with you, that's what it is. No matter what game he's playing, new release or old game, it's really just the same mannerisms over and over and over again. Same shit. Really. Someone could literally make a playlist of, maybe 3 or 4 of his different playthroughs and just scramble that shit together, and you wouldn't be able to really tell the difference outside of the game itself from playthrough to playthrough if you just put up his webcam or his face cam, I should say, and whatnot. If you expanded that and just didn't have the game playing in the background, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference either which way. He doesn't add anything to it. It's rinse and repeat over and over and over again. He's been doing it for 10 damn years. Like I said, it'd be fair to say earlier in his career, he actually tried. He actually put some effort in. But after a while, he just gave up. Yet he's still so self-conscious about his image, though he does nothing to change it. He does nothing to improve it. He expects everybody else to do it for him. All right.
Come and watch a video and basically make those people rich, which I think is preposterous because, as I've said many times, the ad revenue on YouTube is not catered towards children. The advertisements running on those videos is a lot of the times for adults. I'm pretty sure a kid isn't going to run out and buy a fucking SUV. You know what I mean? But if you watch the advertisements on Grammarly, oh yeah, learn how to properly write and read. Children aren't going to purchase Grammarly, so why is this running on a gameplay video a child would watch? And that's the problem with YouTube's ad algorithms. They give ads to people who are making content for people who don't buy shit. And that's how these people became popular and became rich. And it's ridiculous, in my opinion. But again, that's my opinion. I'm entitled to it. I'm certainly not trying to personally insult anyone or anything.
Fuck that, Phil. You are a dirty, rotten liar.
I'm just saying, if you're constantly overacting and you're constantly overdoing it to cater to a younger audience, well, that's not content that I support. If it were a valid reaction, right, that would be one thing. The problem is these people aren't doing that, and
this is where Phil's fan base should have came in and told him to shut up and move on to the game, because all he's doing is putting himself into another bad situation, and whatnot. It's obvious that he's dry dissing a couple of people. Let's be honest. It wasn't hard to figure out who he's going after. It's certainly more than one person. Everybody thinks it's just PewDiePie, but there's definitely a couple of people that falls under. It's obvious that you're dry dissing these people. If you're not really going to be man enough and say names, then just keep quiet. You know what I mean? If you don't believe in that particular practice, then fine, shut up and move on. But all you're doing is wasting time, which is the whole point of his pre-stream anyway, is to waste time, to rant, to talk about the only thing that Phil Burnell gives a shit about, himself, and then go into some shitty gameplay. Which is the reason why people shit on his pre-streams anyway. It's dead air. There's nothing there. And he's proving it with this. And this goes back to what I've said before. Phil should literally just do IRL streams. Just sit down on your couch, set up the camera, get your multiple, Mountain Dew Kickstarters or whatever the hell it is that he drinks, and just talk shit for 3 or 4 hours. Period. He'd draw more attention than he is gaming. He's not a gamer. And he's too lazy to even try at this point. Just saying.
I mean, just look at their content for 5 minutes and you'll see how ridiculous it is, right? So there you go. But anyway, that's why, again.
That's how people feel about your content.
What you're saying, Lollipop, and your cheer is incredibly simplified. You're trying to make the world black and white, which it's not. It's not. Every single person who makes a face or has an over-the-top reaction or whatever is a clown. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. I've never said that. But you're making it oversimplified, probably because you're trying to make me look like a hypocrite, which I don't appreciate. But it is what it is. You're always going to have people like who are going to try to spin shit negatively.
You don't appreciate it. Shouldn't you have said that you're not a hypocrite? That you're just giving your opinion? Oh, no, you just don't appreciate it. Because you said some dumb shit that can come back on you because the way it's going to be used against you is how you intended it. Okay, just make sure.
Instead of actually intelligently and logically applying logic and reason to an argument, you just try to make it black and white, and it doesn't work. And you'll learn that when you get older. But I think you got to mature up a little bit before you understand stuff like that.
Phil said one thing.
Thought there was no kids in the cult though, or in the fan base, whatever. All right, you got to grow up a little bit. Gotcha.
15 years ago, Phil says something today. They're not exactly the same. He's hypocritical. In order to be a good winner, you have to know how to be a good loser.
Woomy cheered and said, yes, do worry about putting good content here and worry about the coins and pocket later. Do find ways to make billion-dollar bills, but don't make it the number one thing. I agree. For me, I've always said this, for me.
Yes, money is a priority. It has to be. I have to pay the bills to stay here and do this as a job. Let me fucking unleash the beast. That's it, I'm going beast mode. Ah! You feed me more. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me. Help! Save the pig. What the heck? A pig with a party hat. Hello, Mr. Piggy. Secret Piggy.
Actually, this right here is a good example. So we see Snort Burnell's pig, and he's basically clowning around being a pig. We see Mr. Huffstuff's pig, who was sitting there bitching and complaining and is about to ban somebody. Kind of falls into place, to be honest with you. Same pig, same body, same gout. But one pig is saying that he's not a children's entertainer, and he's not fake, and he's real. And the other one was actually being real, being who he really is, but says, I'm not a toxic individual and I only want positivity. Just food for thought.
Save the pig, the game. The whole game you're trying to save the pig's life. Help! Holy fucking shit. Relax. Some people just can't control themselves. I need a sip.
But if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, if I don't feel the content I'm putting out is entertaining or fun for me or you, then I don't think there's any point in doing it, you know?
I know you're lying.
Why do you think, guys, I still have stayed true to my colors? I don't do the highlight reel kind of shit, you know? I don't cater to all the YouTube tropes that make things, you know, popular. I never have, and I'm never going to. I am who I am, you know? And I'm happy that after 10 years, I'm still here and able to do this for a living. While many, many other people have had to pack it up and or completely change who they fucking are in order to keep it going, I don't have to do that. I can just, you know, do what I love and keep going thanks to your support, so thank you for that.
I just play games. I'm here to play games and have fun. I'm not here to be a whore. Alright? I'm not here to beg you for money. Tips, I needed them pretty badly. I prefer tips, and right now I need money to pay bills. I need that money to pay my bills. Yes, I do need to do fundraising during streams in order to pay my bills because this is my job and I need to keep stuff going, right? Your support right now with cheers, subs, and tips is paying the bills. All
right, Tryagemi? Boy, I cannot read this name. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name. But he cheered and said, Phil, you got lucky. I'm trying to buy a house in Washington State, but now they all cost $300,000 or more, even for a small shack. Baby boomers really destroyed the housing market for our generation. Yeah, no, it's absolutely true, and this is what people don't seem to understand. Still to this day, people are like, man, Phil's financially in a bad position. He really screwed himself when he moved across the country. He shouldn't have done that. If you guys don't realize it, you know, what I did was very smart, because I did research, and I found out that the houses in this area were very, very exponentially growing in value. And what I keep telling you guys is very true, that if I can tough through the next, say, 2-3 years, and I can keep paying my bills, I can pay my taxes, I can stay where I am.
The bottom line, guys, is...
The bottom line is, his plan, okay, was to move from Connecticut, which he already had a bunch of debt there, and acquire even more debt, moving him and Panda, excuse me, and acquire even more debt, moving him and Panda across country, to stay in a house for 8 years, wait until he had enough equity in the house, use that to pay off basically all of his existing debt, and then do what? So now you have a condo that's paid off that you couldn't sell even if you wanted to, and then given the current situation with it, definitely didn't do you any favors. And because, and like I said, I'm trying to apply what he's going through now into what his grand scheme is. With the massive decline in views and financial revenue and so on and so forth, even if his plan works out, he's still going to get himself back into debt after everything's all clean and clear. He's still gonna owe on the house. Gonna owe a little bit more actually after refinancing and whatnot. And if he's barely, and though the credit card, if he's smart, his credit card bills, the mortgage payment's gone, and all this, that, and the third. How much of that do you really expect him to sell? I mean, to save. And then he still has back taxes that he owes on it. He may never catch up. And then he's talking about having a little bit of wiggle room so him and Kat can do things that they want. You can't afford it. You really can't. So what is he really going to do? Oh boy.
I hope that I can continue to be here and entertain you and be honest with you about games on a daily basis, you know, forever. As long as I want to do it, as long as I'm capable of doing it. I love this. I may be living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, begging for fucking tips and shit on stream for the rest of my life.
And I'm not, by the way, I don't have money, so I'm not gonna be able to spend a lot of money or grow and do fun stuff that I want to do, like go on a vacation. None of that. I just have to tough it out. But if I can tough it out for several years here, the value of my house is gonna keep increasing, and hopefully, I'll then be able to use the equity that I have.
Now, here's the thing about that. Don't get me wrong. When he bought the house about 4 years ago, he bought it for probably about $265,000 from what I've seen. And the house, his house currently is worth about $415,000, maybe 400, somewhere between 415 and 420. So it's definitely, you know, increased in value, okay, as in some of the houses in his general neighborhood. Here's the problem. If you actually get into his home and if you see the issues that are probably going on behind the scenes as it pertains to plumbing, actual general upkeep, the structure, this, that, and the third, these are things that are going to hurt him later on down the line when they come out to appraise it. So he's talking about, oh, my house is worth such and such and it's going to go up in 4 or 5 years or whatever the case may be. But how much time is he really putting into its upkeep, to making sure everything about it inside and out is actually up to standards, up to par? So when it comes time to refinance or sell or whatever the case may be, he can maximize the value of his home. He can't do that if he's always sitting there working. He himself isn't a very handy individual. Mommy and daddy are too old to come all the way across country to do it for him. He's got no friends. So how is he going to handle that situation when that comes about? You know what I'm saying? So in let's say in 4 or 5 years, the neighborhood is at over $500,000 in home values. Let's say his house in general is worth, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to give you a random number. Let's say his house is worth $700,000 in 4 or 5 years. But if it has structural damage, if there's any major water damage, if there's problems with his plumbing and so on and so forth, he's screwed. He's screwed. If not, he's definitely going to have to pay out of pocket to get all that shit squared away and then get it reappraised. And Phil's not thinking about that. And that's what's going to do him in later. So if he's licking his chops, hoping that all this can happen in the next 4 or 5 years to get himself together, which, keep in mind, all the debt that he has, all the interest and everything is just going to keep accumulating and whatnot on all of his other obligations. He's going to get way less than what he thinks he's going to get, and there'll be nothing left after that. He'll be right back at square one. Yes, credit cards will be gone. You know, mortgage over there with the condo in Connecticut will be gone. Hopefully those business loans are knocked out and everything else, but then he's going to be stuck at square one. And if he doesn't micromanage his money at that point, if he doesn't start living within him and Kat's means, if she's even around that long, he's going to be in a whole world of hurt, and he's not going to have any options. DSP News.
Home to pay off a lot of my debt, and then I'll be back in a good position, and I won't have financial troubles anymore. But I have to tough it out. That's what I'm really trying to do right now, is stick with it. You know, if I could stay here for another 2, 3, 4 years and tough through a few tough years where, yeah, things will be very tight and we're going to live tentatively. I'm sure we're going to have financial issues every once in a while. Like you guys know, every once in a while I got to bring shit up and you guys help me out. But if I can get through all that and the home value keeps going up, I should be all right. All right? I knew what I was doing. I was looking at home values in Texas and Florida those were not doing well at all. I was like, now, wait a minute. Washington's the opposite. Washington State is the hot place. All younger people are trying to come out here to work. A lot of the reasons because of Seattle, and there's a lot of tech jobs out here. It really is a place, good investment for property. All right. So, yeah, even though right now things kind of suck, if I can fight through a lot of the hardship I'm in now, things are going to turn out better in the long run, and that's what I'm striving to do, okay?
Wow.
Ben Boxer, cheers. In the future, do you plan in refinancing your mortgage? That's actually what I want to do, Ben Boxer. What I want to do is I want to hold out, even though I'm in a bad financial position now. I want to hold out to the point where I have a lot of equity built in my house, because I have good equity now, but not enough to use because of the incredible amount of debt in my name. I want to build up enough equity in the home that I can refinance the mortgage and put all my shit debt, right? All the stupid credit card debt and all this crap into the mortgage, which will dramatically reduce my monthly payments and raise my credit score, to which case, guess what? I'm liquid again. I'll actually be able to have money and do stuff. Because the bottom line is, it's not that I don't make a lot of money, it's that I'm in too much fucking debt. I'm up to my eyeballs in it. And I gotta find a way out, and that's really my way out, is to stick in here. Because the bottom line is, if I sell the house now, it's not enough to take care of everything. I'd have to finance a move, which I don't have the money for. You know, I can't get rid of my stupid, shitty, money pit condo in Connecticut. I'm stuck with that fucking piece of shit. So really, the only thing to do here is to hold out with the house in Washington here, so.
Well, that's the pigeonhole you put yourself in. That was your active choice, and that's your fault. And instead, look in the mirror and realize you're the one who did this to yourself. And maybe if you were just honest with yourself, you wouldn't be so miserable. There you go.
Eternal Napalm did a 225-bit cheer, which makes him the top cheerer for today. He says, how much must someone's life suck to spend dozens of hours mocking and creative rip-off content of someone that they allegedly hate? Well, Eternal Napalm, what I hate to say is I think there's different levels of fandom. I really do.
Here's the thing about that. Who says that any of the detractors hate him? Like, Phil likes to push that narrative, but how many of them really do? So I don't hate Phil. I think he just does really stupid shit. And it's funny. It's funny to watch a man implode. Wow. It's funny to watch a person implode, and it doesn't need to happen this way. And he has options right in front of him that he could do right now. And he won't do it. He would rather shit fuck up on him. He would rather shit go to hell. And given what he had said in that last statement, you know what I mean, where he wants to reduce his monthly payments, how about you just pay all the credit cards off? Or is it that you owe tens of thousands of dollars on each one of those cards? How many cards do you have? You know what I mean? Those business loans themselves are going to be definitely hefty, especially with the amount of interest. And it's probably a good thing that Panda was able to get away from that. So the amount of debt that he has must be significant. Absolutely ridiculous. But it's of his own making. I don't need to hate someone to look at what he's doing and be like, wow, that really sucks. And I don't have to hate him to be like, well, what you're doing is just as bad, and you're going to be in an even worse situation if you don't change up. Doesn't sound like I hate him that much. Doesn't sound like Tevin or Arjun or Theo or Memology 101 or Mighty D or James the Lesser Express Lane or anybody else hates him that much. Just saying. Some of these same people have tried to give him that same advice on Twitter until they got blocked. So, yeah. So where's all the real hate at, if you don't mind me asking?
I can see from my 10 years on the internet, okay? And sadly, from what I've seen, is that there are people who are fans of people because they genuinely like them, and there are people who are fans of people because they actually don't like them, and they want to see the train crash. Let me put it that way.
3. Celebratory toast. Everyone, if you have a drink, raise your glass with me, or your can, or your chalice, or your flute, whatever it is that you may drink from. Let's have a celebratory toast to being done with that fucking shit. Salud.
There are content creators out there that people are like, wow, I know him. He's very, from the internet. He's infamous.
He was the guy that got caught masturbating in front of children.
It's the guy watching his Twitch.
Is that really him? Is he the one that got caught? Matt?
Yes.
And then they want to go get a picture with this guy, right? They want to shake his hand. But then as soon as they go out of the personal realm of in real life, they go back online, they shit all over this person, whatever. It's ridiculous. Like, there's some people who get their jollies trying to bring down others who are successful. So they look at someone like me, they look at, you know, someone who else kind of a similar situation, who maybe has a following on the internet but isn't necessarily held up in the highest positive regard. It's time to jump on the bandwagon and crap on someone, right? So let me take their videos, edit them or whatever, and now you feel like you got an accomplishment out of it because you got thousands of views on a video that's complete bullshit just because you wanted to get attention for yourself because you couldn't do it for yourself.
Nothing that a person does in one of those videos is any kind of actual talent at all. I'll be real honest with everyone. Just making an edited YouTube video is very easy. Doing live improv reactionary commentary is tough. The hard shit is sitting here.
So then, why did you quit a channel that was based completely off edited content to go to live streaming? If it's so easy, then, and your days are so much more concise live streaming, why can't you do 1 or 2 edited videos before you spend time with Kat and go to bed? If it's so easy, I'm just saying. Why don't one of you guys ask him that before he comes at you with all these excuses on why he can't? Because Phil is quick to tell you what he can do or what he thinks he's good at. But when you guys make a suggestion of what he should do, he's very, very quick to tell you what he can't do and why he can't do it and why it's not viable. Just saying.
Oh, games. That's the hard part. Streaming is way harder than just editing videos for YouTube. Okay? It is. Real talk.
And that's sad. If they could actually get noticed for something they could do themselves, they probably would, but they can't because they have no talent. So instead they just try to bring down others who obviously have talent or they wouldn't be known to begin with. And that's a really sad, pathetic way to go through life, but that's how a lot of people do it. You know, what can I say? Like I said, they're different kinds of fans. And even though a lot of people hate me, I still have to say they're probably my biggest fans because they watch all the...
You're really going to call detractors fans? They're former fans, sure, some of them are. But some detractors don't even know who you were. They watched other detractors and were like, oh, okay. And started reading up on your lore and then, or watching up on it, and then started making videos themselves. So it's kind of funny how he says these detractors don't have any type of real talent. They can't do this, that, and the third, but yet detractors breed other detractors. You see how this works? Phil can't breed new fans. If he did, his streams would be so much more successful. If he could, his YouTube channel wouldn't be stuck at 180,000 plus subscribers. You see, we see where the disconnect is there. See how we got a bit of a problem there, Dave. Just saying, you know, you're talking about no talent, this, that, and the third, and people who are popular. Where's your popularity at? Where's your huge fan base to go ahead and crush the detractors and whatnot? Where are they all at? I'll say you've actually created more detractors after that nonsense you pulled on Twitter, and then you're slowly but surely trying to, at least from what I'm seeing, I'm not sure if I should be making this accusal yet, but from what it looks like, you're trying to pander low tier God to try to work your way back into eating off of his popularity, or what, if you want to perceive it as popularity, to work your way maybe back into the FGC. Because, let's be perfectly honest with you, a lot of the old heads, or we'll just say OGs, I won't call them old heads, but OGs from in Phil's generation, those guys are looked at as some of the cream of the crop. They're respected. You know what I mean? So maybe if Dave wasn't such a piece of shit, he could be up there with them too, but he's not. He's going to end up falling by the wayside into that group of people, and it's very small, by the way, who you shouldn't be anything like. But then there's an extra aspect to that too. Some of the people back in the day who were hated on or disliked, some of them have shown back up in the last couple of years. And they've kind of, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't say reinvented themselves, but they've reintroduced people to them. And they've kind of straightened themselves up. They've gone ahead and some of those rivalries, some of those problems, some of those beefs, they worked that out. And that was done behind the scenes. That wasn't in front of cameras or nothing. They've made amends for some of the stuff that they did in their past. Something that Dave can't do, or he won't do. So, yet again, just a food for thought. Something to think about.
My shit, you know?
What pasta do you prefer? I prefer a penne. Oh! Easy to eat. Oh! Phil's a faggot. Phil's fat. Phil's a loser. Phil's a beggar.
Oh boy. Alright guys, so there we go on that. I mean, whatever helps him sleep at night, I suppose. whatever it is that helps him sleep at night. What are you gonna do? There's not much you can do. In any case, let the man have his delusion and whatnot, and let him spin it in any way that he can. It's all he has, if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when the fan base is gone, when the money dries up, when Kat or whoever the female is that's going to replace her, and whoever's going to replace her, and that's if he even gets that far. I might be giving him too much credit. Once everything is long gone, all he's going to have is the detractors. So now, and not to say this is what his plan is, but now to spin that into, oh, they're fans of mine. They're just different types of fans. It's kind of sad. It's kind of sad that now you want to try to turn the people, the people allegedly who brought you down, who put you into this terrible situation that you're in, are now you've gone ahead and flipped that a little bit to be, and making it sound like, oh, they're fans. They're just different types of fans. They're a different breed of fans. That's what you've relegated this to. And instead of just accepting it at face value. It's amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. I am your host / anchor, GTG, and I'm signing off in the broadcast.